Thank you for being here tonight. Means a lot to us. You know, we're here gathered today over the weekend also for a camping trip, and it means a whole lot that you're here. It really does. How many of you have been sober today? Give yourself a big hand if you've been sober in your past life. I'm sober today, but a year ago I wasn't sober. I was drunk. And I know that I was drunk because I was drunk 24/7. I would get up and I would drink 3 or 4 beers and I'd go to sleep for 2 hours. And then I'd get up and I'd repeat it. And I did that for days. I didn't have a thing to eat for 11 days. I just drank. And I lost a lot of weight. I was down to 118, which was pretty thin for me, even though I'm a little guy. I went into Harmony Hills for detox and some recovery, and they had me on a walker because I was constantly falling. Later on, one of the fellows there said that when I came in, I looked like death walking. So I'm a little healthier today, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for Hand in Hand's role in that, giving me a place, a program where I can live and I can have a community of guys where I feel like I'm supported in my sobriety. I want to talk a little bit about my parents. I'm not going to tell you my parents were drinkers. And the reason I'm not going to tell you my parents were drinkers is they weren't drinkers. My mother, I saw her drink a sip of wine, I think, in my whole lifetime at Christmas. And my father, I think he drank a couple beers once. And I saw him. But other than that, he didn't drink. He was a smoker, but he didn't drink because he told me one day, he said, I think I have an addictive personality, and I don't want to chance it. I started when I was 11 years old. Now, I've been to a lot of 12-step meetings, and it seems to me that a lot of them people started at 11 years old. I don't know why that is. Sometimes it's a little younger. It's 8 years old. Sometimes it's even younger than that. But a lot of them are 11 years old. The only thing I can attribute it to is maybe that's when adolescence starts or puberty sets in. So my first instance of drinking, I was at a friend's house, and his mother was gone. So he wanted me to try something. So he got a clear bottle out of the liquor cabinet. It was filled with clear water, clear liquid. Now I thought it was water. And he said, try this, take a big gulp of this. So being 11 years old, I took a big gulp of it and I spit most of it out. It tasted just like perfume to me. And it was gin. And I thought, why would anyone want to drink this? It tastes like perfume. So he thought it was real funny, and I guess it was funny at that time to get me that way. Later that year, another friend, got a hold of a bottle of Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but maybe you remember it from growing up, I don't know. But he got a bottle of Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill. I think he probably got a sailor to buy it for him. We lived near a Navy base. But anyway, he brought it to a park, and it was late at night, and we drank that bottle of Strawberry Hill, and I got drunk. I got drunk for the first time. And I thought it was wonderful. I had this wonderful euphoria thinking, oh my gosh, someone has been keeping this from me my whole life, and now I've discovered the secret. This is the thing that's going to let me get out of myself and be who I really want to be. I ended up getting drunk that night, and I got sick, and I fell on my face in the grass. That should have been a warning, but it wasn't. Through my middle years in junior high, I was introduced to pot. I started smoking pot, quite a bit of reefer, and I liked it also. So I kept using it through high school, and in high school I was really what you call a stoner. I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but it's someone who's often stoned. I don't know how I graduated from high school. I honestly don't. Algebra just slipped past me and I didn't know what it was. I'm not sure I even did any of the homework, but somehow I graduated from high school. And I went on, I'm a little bit of a late bloomer as far as college, but in my late teenage years, I continued to drink and I continued to smoke pot. And then later in my 30s, and I'll get that to a minute in a minute, but in my early 20s, I met a woman and we started dating, and she had a habit of drinking every night. And I was already drinking on a regular basis, so I kind of fell into a habit of drinking every night. And that habit lasted for the better part of 4 decades. When I was when I was 30, I got custody of my son and came to Florida where I had family. I thought it'd be easier to raise him. And I got custody of my son, and I started at the University of Florida. And I went there and I got a bachelor's degree in journalism, and I got a master's degree in creative writing, an MFA. All the while raising my son on my own. And I kept it if I remember, a 3.94 through my bachelor's degree, not much different in graduate school. So all that time when I was succeeding at college and when I was raising my son, and I somehow held it together because I was drinking. Each night, about 9 o'clock, I was done with the work. I would put Elliot to bed, and I would sit in the living room and I would drink 4 or 5, sometimes 6 beers. And I did that every night, all through my college career, and all through graduate school, and all through my 20-year teaching career at Santa Fe College. It was a ritual. It was a time when I could unwind, when I felt like I could just exhale and feel like I had this time to myself. I remember one night, my son came into the living room and he said, "Dad, that can't be good for you, sitting in the dark drinking." He knew even at a very young age, 8 or 9, "Dad, that couldn't be good for you." So I guess what I want to say is, my son, I raised him on my own, and he's going on to be very successful in a lot of ways. And I'd like to be able to say that I didn't damage him in any way, but that's not true. Because I wasn't there for him, that was late in the evening, I wasn't really present. So I did damage in my own way. I feel like parenting is something, I know when I was raising Elliot, I was like, I'm not going to make the mistakes my parents made. I was like, I'm not going to make them. But while you're trying not to make the mistakes your parents made, you're making other mistakes. And by the time you realize those mistakes, it's too late. It's already been imprinted. So the other thing, I want to go back to my parents a little bit. My mother didn't drink and my father didn't drink. I want to say this about my mother. My parents were good parents. Not only did they not drink, but they were good parents. They raised 6 kids. They worked hard. We learned a lot from them that helped us later in life. Where I got the drinking gene, I don't know. Whether there's this genetic cocktail that I don't know about that comes in the line, or there's just circumstances. But I certainly got it. I'm sober today. And I'm happy to be sober today. In 3 days, I'll be sober for a year.